Hello guys, Manuel here. Yeah, if you're a new subscriber or you're seeing this video for the first time, I am Manuel. I am currently based in Brazil. I've been in Brazil for 4 years now. So I'm based in Brazil, Sao Paulo. So I talk about the benefits in this country, the beautiful things in this country. I proclaim the gospel of Brazil to people. So guys, if you are seeing this video for the first time, please kindly subscribe. Please, I'm begging, kindly subscribe, share, like, and comment. So on today's content, I'll be talking about the advantages of giving birth to your child here in Brazil as a foreigner. What the government, the Brazilian government, gives, what they allows foreigners, the benefits they allows foreigners to get when they give birth to their child here in Brazil. So firstly, when you give birth to your child here in Brazil as a foreigner, the child becomes a citizen by birth automatically. The child becomes a Brazilian. A brasileiro, that's if it's a boy. A brasileira, that's if the child is a female. So the child becomes a Brazilian automatically by birth. And also for the parents, when they give birth to their child, the parents get their permanent residence. They'll be given their permanent residence, but their card will last for 9 years. So after 9 years, they can renew the card. Do you get? Also, you give birth to your child here in Brazil, after a year of you give birth to the child here in Brazil, the parents can apply for naturalization. The parents can apply for their citizenship to become a Brazilian also. To have a Brazilian passport. That's the benefits of giving birth to your child here. Also, or let me come again. So if you give birth to your child here in Brazil, the parents will give you their permanent residence. After a year, they can apply for their naturalization because they have a Brazilian child here in Brazil. The child already is a Brazilian. Child has passports and the RG. RG is the documentation, the Brazilian documentation here. RG. So the child has the RG, the child becomes a Brazilian, child has a passport already after birth immediately. While the parents have their permanent residence, then after a year, because they have a Brazilian child here in Brazil, they can apply for their naturalization to become a Brazilian. One of the benefits the Brazilian government gives to foreigners that give birth to their child here is that if the Brazilian child, that means the child who give birth to this country, if the Brazilian child have siblings, if Brazilian child have siblings that are not Brazilian, so through the Brazilian child, the siblings of the Brazilian child also can have their permanent residence and naturalization. So let me explain this. So if you give birth to your child here in Brazil and you have maybe the Brazilian child have maybe some minor age, maybe they are still underage rather, from 1 year old to 13 years old. No, I think it's 10 years old, yes. From 1 year old to 10 years old, 10 years old. The Brazilian siblings will be given permanent residence. Then immediately the Brazilian siblings have their permanent residence, they can apply for their naturalization immediately because they are still underage. But for the Brazilian siblings that are above underage, that is from 13 to all years, they can apply. They'll be given their permanent residence. But then after 4 years, they can apply for their naturalization. It's only if the Brazilian siblings give birth to a child also or marry a Brazilian. Do you understand? For grandparents, step siblings also, siblings of a Brazilian child, grandparents for both mother and father side also, they can get their permanent residence through the Brazilian child. For granny, grandpa, grandmother, from mother side, from father side, step siblings also, can also have their permanent residence through the Brazilian child. So these are some of the benefits of you having your child here in Brazil. The Brazilian government, they are so sweet, like they are accommodating, they love foreigners. So this is one of the easiest way you can get your permanent resident through your child, and also the siblings of the Brazilian child that are minor or that are above underage also. The grandparents also, the step siblings also of the Brazilian child also can get everything, can get their PR through the Brazilian child. Remember, these people are foreigners. Do you get? It's just the Brazilian baby that you born here. It's just the baby that you born here that is Brazilian. Do you understand? So these are some of the benefits also. And also, after giving birth, like how long can you get your child's RG, your child's passport, the parents' PR after giving birth to the child? Because I know most people are going to ask me this question. So, okay, assuming you give birth to your child today, let's say today, okay, you give birth to your child today, you'll be using 3 days in the hospital. 3 days in the hospital. So after 3 days in the hospital, you go to the proper temple to go and collect the child's birth certificate. So on that birth certificate, they'll put the parent's name on it. And mind you, note this: if only the mother is in this country, if only the mother is in this country and the father is not yet in this country, they only put the the mother's name. They don't put the father's name yet. Until the father gets into this country before they will add the father's name to the birth certificate. And that birth certificate is one of the most important things you're going to use for your PR, for the parents' PR. So if in that case, if only the mother is in this country, so the mother can get their this thing, get a PR before the father comes in. So when the father comes in, you guys will have to go and change it also. And the birth certificate is always free. They will do it for you at the proper temple. So for that one now, within a week, 2 weeks, it's ready. I no, sorry, for birth certificates, that same day you can collect it when you go there. So it might change later, maybe 2 days, 3 days, a week, you come back and collect it. But normally that same day you collect it as proper temple. So after the birth certificate is out, then you go and do the child's RG. RG is the Brazilian document. What signifies this child is a Brazilian. So for normal PR is for those that are not Brazilian. So we call those are not Brazilian PR. Their card is called PR. That's permanent residence. But RG is for those that are Brazilian. So after that, you go to the proper temple to go and do the child's RG. Then after the RG is out, the RG takes maybe within a month, within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the RG will be out. So after the RG is out, that's when the parents can now proceed for their own PR, for their own permanent residence. And that's when also the step parents, the step siblings, the grandpa, the grandma, the parents, the siblings of the Brazilian child can now process their own permanent residence through the Brazilian child. So it's after the RG is out, the birth certificate is out, that's when the parents and families related to the child can proceed for their PR. So they go to federal police and do that. And one important document you need for your PR is criminal record. Is criminal record from Nigeria. Then you go and translate it at Brasilia also. So there are agents that charge for this particular service, these particular services. So they're agents. So if you say any agent charging you maybe best tourism or anything, they're just charging you for the service they will help you render, because here in Brazil we speak Portuguese. So people want to follow you to proper temple to help you do everything, relate to the people there that will attend to you there. Do you understand? So the time frame of getting the child's RG, that's Brazilian documents, the birth certificate, the parents' PR processing, or the siblings of the Brazilian child is within, I'll say within 1 to 3 months or 4 months. So it depends on particular time you get your agenda for the federal police for the parents' PR, because you have to book agenda to go and do your processing for the fingerprint, the facial recognition also at the federal police. So it depends. But after you've done everything, the fingerprint and everything, you'll be given a protocol. So with that protocol, you can leave the country, you can come back also. Then with that protocol, you have to wait for 45 days. Before it was 45 days, was not, but now it is now fast. Within 15 days, they will give you you pick up your card, you pick up your PR card. So with that, that's how it is. So after that, after a year, you cannot apply for naturalization. Note this also. For parents of the Brazilian siblings, after a year, you can apply for naturalization because you have a Brazilian child. Please note this important thing. Before you apply for your naturalization after a year, the maximum amount you have to be in this country is 9 months. You have to be in Brazil for 9 months. So you can only use 3 months outside Brazil in a year. So you have to be in Brazil for 9 months in a year before you can apply for your naturalization. That's very, very important. So the maximum amount you can use outside of Brazil, it is 3 months. So for 9 months, you have to be in this country. So for that 3 months, you can just maybe you go 1 month, you come back again. You go again, maybe 2 weeks again, you come back again. But the calculation has to be what? 3 months maximum outside of Brazil before applying for naturalization. For parents of a Brazilian child that want to apply for naturalization, the Portuguese language certificate also is very, very important for your naturalization application. It is very, very, very important. Also, your criminal record is very, very important. Just take note of that. So as a foreigner that wants to give birth, say in Brazil, the important document you need is your CPF. That's when you get into Brazil. Your CPF, your SUS card. SUS card is a medical card. So is that when you used to start your antenatal and everything. And in Brazil, a medical here is free in Brazil. There are private hospitals also that are very good that you can use also. Those ones you have to pay for that. So guys, these are the benefits, the advantages of you giving birth to your child here in Brazil as a foreigner. So in case you don't understand anything, just comment below. I'm going to reply your comment. So guys, this is the end of today's content, today's video. Guys, please follow my page, follow my post. I'll be dropping lots of things. I will unveiling, yes, lot of things. Please kindly subscribe, kindly share, please comment, subscribe, please. I'm begging. I love you guys so much. So I remain your guy, Manuel. So see you guys in my next video.